Hello, I'm Mary V. Today, let's talk about being more musical on the violin. And what we need to think about is the language of music. And most composers actually put markings into the music, piano, crescendo, rallentando, there are indications. And there's also a style of music that you just need to get used to what kind of style it is. Playing Bach is very different from playing Dvorak. There's a piece by Dvorak called Romantic Piece. So what am I doing there? How can I make it better, more musical? Well, the first clue is that it starts piano, and then as it goes up to the top note and comes back down again, there's a crescendo and a decrescendo. So you've got to kind of try to do that in a natural way. So one of the best ways to do it is to join up the notes. Don't make everything separate because it sounds like this. So that gives you a better chance to do the dynamics that are indicated. So by joining the notes together, you can go on a journey with the notes. You can make more sense of what the composer is asking you to do. There's something very nice about the octaves at the beginning of this. That's an F, and then it does a lower F. And then there's a D, and a lower D. So that repeated pattern, there's a lot of tenderness in that. I think the thing you need to be looking for is warmth, and just play it in a very loose, romantic way. So join the notes up and really be true to the dynamics that the composer has indicated. You don't have to exaggerate dynamics. If it says to crescendo, just try and do it in a natural way instead of like this. That's really not very romantic. It's a bit too much. Okay, so it's got to be within the phrasing. When I talk, it's pretty obvious when I start. I might emphasize something or have an idea, and then I might elaborate on it, and then I come to some sort of conclusion. And it's pretty obvious to you what it is I'm talking about and what part of the sentence I'm at. Music is exactly the same. Even if you take something incredibly simple like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, it's got the first idea, and then it's got the answering phrase. Then it's got the next phrase. And then it repeats the same phrase. and then it wraps everything up by repeating the first phrase again. And then we have the closing. Now that is music. It's a language that sets out an idea. It might repeat it, it might contrast, it might elaborate, but it's a journey towards the final sort of conclusion, right? So let me play that a little faster and see if you can follow the phrasing. So if you take an old tune like Greensleeves, you can see how the first idea is echoed by the way it's answered, and then there's a new idea, and then there's the resolution. It's very, very much the same as talking. And you need bow distribution. You need to sort of play with the right amount of bow. If I'm sort of using too much bow, or every time I do a down bow, it's louder, you know, it just interrupts the flow. You've got to play evenly through a phrase and make it very joined up, very joined up. So that you can actually express the full phrase in a sort of joined up way. Practicing very smooth bowing is an essential art. So just use scales to do it. So another kind of music is a Bach partita. So the main challenge is with the technical difficulties and the bowing, you've got to still phrase it. So the key structure in Bach is very important because it sort of makes a lot of sense. The way that he sets out an idea and then elaborates and changes key, but always comes back to the home key, which is beautiful. So he starts out with a D minor arpeggio. There's a C sharp there, another C sharp, and then back to D minor. So one key to playing Bach partitas really well is that when the music goes up, then increase the dynamic, and when it goes back down, decrease it. So take that first phrase from the Bach partita. So that you can see that that works very well for that. When it goes up, it increases a little bit in dynamic, and when it goes down, decreases. So there's a very majestic sonata by Haydn that starts like this. So that's very majestic. It's very joined up. The rhythm has got to be right. So this piece really conveys the majesty of the key, the sound, the violin. Everything about it is absolutely majestic. There's something really beautiful about a Mozart sonata that keeps repeating G. I think Mozart really loved G major. So you can see the way that Mozart uses finesse and trills to sort of highlight the final note of his phrase. Being musical is really about overcoming any automaticness in your playing, so that you can get better and better and better at making the music come alive. And do remember, music, it has a language, and the more experience you have, the more you'll be able to speak this language through your bow and through your left hand. So you need experience of different composers as you progress to give your bow different touch and different understanding of the overall picture that the composer has sort of laid out for you. And that's the challenge, really, is to make it really come alive. So the idea of being musical on the violin is really a lifetime's journey. And it's very pleasurable because each composer brings something different. So, and each one of us can bring something different as well. So I hope you found this helpful, and I'll leave it there. Bye.